All right, in this project, I want to introduce you to something that I really, really like to play around with, and it satisfies a part of me that as a child was satisfied by my Etch-a-Sketch and my spirograph and lots of little maybe toys that you could tinker with and create visual designs. And this is called the Python Turtle module. And this little introduction to the turtle is going to cover some of the basic commands and show you how to do some things with the turtle and kind of explain how the turtle thinks and works. And we will continue to build on this in subsequent projects. But we'll also be introducing you for the first time to something called a module or a library. And a module is something that you can import into your Python script to enhance or extend Python's capabilities. And the turtle is just one of those modules. And by the way, modules are one of the things that make Python so special. So in this project, the first thing we're going to do is import the turtle module. And it looks just like that. So we're going to import turtle. And right now, it's just waiting for us to begin. And so to use the turtle, the first thing we need to do is create a turtle object. I'm just going to call it T. And what you'll see is that the reason I'm just going to call it T is because the longer the name that I give it, the more I'm going to have to type that over and over and over throughout this program. So I'm going to be lazy and call it T. So I'm going to say T equals, and then I'm going to create a turtle object by reaching into the turtle module by typing turtle lowercase. So I'm referring now to this module here. And inside that, there is a turtle class or turtle object, capital T. And then I'm going to give it parentheses just like that to create an instance of the turtle object as T. So now T is a turtle. And if you run this, you won't get anything yet. But what I can show you is just with a couple more lines of code, we can actually see our friend the turtle. So the next thing we need to do is we need to create a command that will keep the screen open, the turtle canvas open, even after the turtle has finished executing all its commands. Because by default, once the turtle executes all its commands, the program ends and the turtle canvas disappears. So if you want to see the turtle, if you want to see what the turtle has done, and you want it to stick around after it finishes its work, then you need to do something to keep the screen open. And so what we're going to do is we're going to tell the window that we're not going to exit until we click on the window. So the way we do that is inside the turtle module, there is one more thing that we need to import or use. So I'm going to create an instance of the screen object. And by doing this, screen equals turtle dot screen, again, capital S and parentheses. Now I've created an ability to reference that screen. So now I'm going to say screen, exit on click, and that's it. So now if I run this, what you'll see is there is my turtle. And it doesn't look like a turtle. However, I'll show you a little bit later on how you can actually transform your turtle to look like a turtle, because there is a command for that, but I'm going to leave it at this little arrow for now. So that is the turtle. It hasn't done anything yet, but now I can tell that turtle what to do. And so let's do that. So the first command that you want to understand is T dot forward, and I'm going to give it a distance. If I say 10, then the turtle will go forward just a little bit. That wasn't very much. If I say 100, then the turtle will go forward 100. And it draws a little line wherever it goes by default. By default, the pen is down. So wherever it goes, it's going to draw a line. So if I say forward, and then I say right 90 degrees, and let's say I do that 4 times, so I'm just going to copy and paste, because who wants to type extra, right? So I do that 4 times. Forward 90, forward 90, forward 90, forward 90. What's it going to do? It's going to draw a square. Okay, and if I actually want to see the turtle draw the square, I can actually slow down the turtle. So I can say turtle.speed. 0 is the fastest, 9 is the second fastest, 8, 7, all the way down to 1, which is the slowest. So if I do this, then I can see the turtle actually doing its work. So I can draw a forward line. I can also draw backwards. I can turn left. I can turn right. So the distance here is a number of units. You can think of it as a number of pixels. And the default screen here is 300 high by 400 wide. And I can go in any of those directions. And so that gives me the ability to sort of control. 0, 0 is the middle here. So I can go 400 in this direction, 400 in this direction. That actually makes it 800 wide and 800 tall. So that's kind of the units. But 0, 0 is the turtle's home, and it is at the very middle, 0, 0. So negative numbers going up, negative and positive over here, positive down here. So if I go negative 400 is up this way, and 400, 400 is down this way, and so on. So that gives you an idea of the turtle screen. It can go forward, backward, right, left. I can also, if I want to, fill in that shape, and the way I would do that is before I begin drawing the shape, I use t.begin fill, and when I'm done, I hit end fill, and it doesn't take any parameters, but it does require parentheses because it's a function. And so when it draws the shape, then it fills that shape up. So I can do that. If I want to, I can also give the turtle a different color. Black is kind of boring, so I can say t.color. And inside the color, it takes an argument that is a string that is the name of a color. So I can say red, and then the turtle will become red and draw in that color. I could say yellow, right? All of the basic colors are kind of there. That's barely visible. And what are my color options? If you're wondering, here's a great web page. It's trinket.io/docs/colors. And here are some common colors that have names. And if I click on that, if I look at under the turtle name box here, that one is called green yellow. And so if I want to use that color with my turtle, I just type it exactly that way, and it will draw in that color for me. So that's a great way to pick from a lot of different colors. You can also specify colors in the RGB format, but we're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to keep it basic. So there is my color options. And a lot of the colors have variants like dark green. That feels like a nice Python kind of color. So I'm going to keep the dark green for now. In addition to these commands, you also have things like T circle, and circle takes as a primary argument the radius. So if I want to do a circle that is 40 pixels across, obviously the radius would be 20. And then when I finish drawing that, there it will draw that 20, the circle with a radius of 20, a diameter of 40. I can also do things like specify the extent of the circle. So if I say 180, then it will draw exactly half of the circle. So there's that. Okay, so you can draw an arc. So 90 degrees would be a quarter of a circle. But here's an interesting thing that you can also do. If I say steps equals, then I can name that argument, the steps argument, and let's say I say 5. It's going to create a circle with 5 sides, or also known as a pentagon. So if I want to do easy polygons, that's another way to do that. You'll notice also that the circle is drawn counterclockwise. Okay, if I want it to go the other direction, let's say I have an arc like this. Actually, let's just hold off on the square for now and just draw the arc. Okay, so if I have an arc like this, and let's say I want it to be the other side, I want it to go the other way, so counterclockwise, clockwise instead of counterclockwise, I'm just going to specify the radius in negative numbers, and then you'll see that actually went down. But if I wanted that one to be up, I'd have to start the circle facing the other way. So I would go T right 180 degrees, so face the other direction, and there's that other side. So you can, with a combination of the starting point of the circle and the radius and the degrees in positive or negative numbers, you can do all kinds of different things. So that is some of the basic things that you can do with the turtle. And now, for a little exercise, I'm gonna do some turtle art, and just for fun, I thought maybe I would do some lettering, maybe start the word Python. I don't know if I'll get through the whole thing in this video, but at least enough to show you a few things. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. I'm going to leave the dark green color because that's really nice for Python. And if you remember, the origin or the home point for the turtle is facing to the right, and it's also in the direct middle of the screen. And if I'm going to do some lettering, I'd like to move to the left. And so I'm going to go 300 to the left. And in order to do that, I'm going to pick up the pen because I don't want it to draw while I do this. So I'm going to say T, pen up, which means I can move the turtle now without drawing. And since the turtle is facing to the right, I can go backwards 300, and that'll go to the left. So I'll go turtle backward 300, and then T, I can go pen down, and that'll put the pen back down. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the turtle is facing directly up, because I'm going to start the P for Python with the turtle facing up. So I'm going to go left, T, left, 90 degrees, and that should face the turtle up. Let's see what we've got so far just to test it out. Okay, so now I've got the turtle, it's facing up, and it's over here to the left-hand side, so I can do some lettering going the other direction. So let's start out with the P, and I'm going to go up, turn right, go forward a little bit, and then draw a half circle, turn left, and then go back down, and then close it out. So let's see if we can do that all in one shot here. Okay, so start the P. Let's make a little note here. Capital letter P. We're going to go up. Let's make it 100 tall. So we're going to go forward 100, and then we're going to turn right 90, and then let's go forward just a little bit here. I'm going to go 20 forward, and then T, we're going to do a circle now. Let's make it about half the height of the letter, so that would be a radius of 25 on the circle. So we're going to go circle, and since we're going to go clockwise, we're going to go negative 25, and we're going to do a half circle. Okay, and then we should be able to turn left 90 degrees, and then we should be able to go forward 50. That should put us back down to the bottom, and then T, that should turn right 90 degrees, and then we're going to finish the letter by going forward 20. Okay, so let's test it out and see if I drew that correctly in my imagination here. Okay, not bad. I think I would like the curved part of the P to be a little bit larger. So let's make a couple of adjustments, and I'm also going to have it fill in that shape. I'm not going to do the little cutout in the middle. That's just too much work for that right now. So let's start the begin fill, and T end fill at the bottom, and then to make the circle a little bit bigger, let's make the radius 30, which means that there's only going to be 40 left here, because this times 2 is 60 plus 40 is 100, and that's the whole height of the letter. So let's run that and see how it works. Nice. I like it. Okay, let's do one more letter. Let's do the Y. Okay, so we're going to do the letter Y. We'll do lowercase y. First thing we need to do before we do the Y is move to new spot. Okay, so now if you recall, at the bottom, when we finish this letter, we are facing to the left and we are on the baseline. So basically I want to move to about right here, which looks like, I don't know, 70 or 80 backwards. So let's do pen up, and then we're going to move backwards. And we're going to go, let's go 80. Let's just try it out and see how that looks. T, and then we're going to turn right 90, so we're facing up. And then we're going to put the pen down so we can start drawing. Let's check our work. All right, looks like we're ready to go. And the first thing I want to do with the letter Y is I'm going to draw this left arm here. So I'm going to kind of go up and around this way. And I'm going to use a simple measurements for the degrees, even if it looks a little bit weird, it's a lot easier to calculate this. So we're just going to keep it very simple. And what I want to do first is I'm going to move 45 degrees to the left. So it's pointing diagonally up and to the left. And then we will go, let's go ahead and go 50, forward 50, and then we'll turn 90 degrees to the right. And then we'll go forward 20, and then we'll turn T right again, and then we'll go back down T forward 50. That makes the left, and then we should end up back right here at the bottom of the V part of the Y there. And so what we need to do is we need to go left 90, and then we're going to go forward 50, and then we're going to go right 90, and then we're going to go forward 20. 20 is the default thickness of our letters here, so we want to keep that consistent. And then we'll turn right again. And this time, we're going to go from up here all the way down to the bottom of the Y. And so let's make an extra long tail, and let's go, well, we want to go probably about 130, 120. Let's go 120. And then we're going to turn right again. We're at the bottom here, so we need to go another 20 for the thickness of it. Forward 20, and then we're going to turn right again. And then we just got to bring it home. So if we went 50 minus 120, I think we're going to go back 80 if I'm not mistaken. Forward 80. And let's give that a shot and see how it does. Boy, that is a big and obnoxious letter Y. Okay, so we went a little too far. What we need is probably, looks like about 50 actually. So let's fix that, and we will add a little trial and error, never hurt anybody here in computing. And let's begin fill. It is ugly. This isn't a typography class, so we'll just have to live with that for now. But let's run that and see how it looks. There it is, PY for Python. So you get the idea of how some of this stuff works, and you can actually do some really interesting things. Before we finish up, I want to show you one other little interesting thing that you can do that's kind of cool, and we can play around with this too. But you know, I mentioned the spirograph. I don't know about you, but I had a spirograph when I was a kid that was one of my favorite things. But if we can just, I'm going to comment all of that out so that it won't run any of this code here. We'll still keep the dark green because that's kind of a fun color. But one of the other things that's interesting that you can do with this is if you do repeated patterns, let's say a circle, and just for example, if you just take these numbers and increment each one just a little bit, then you can get some really fun patterns going. And obviously, it's kind of therapeutic to watch as well. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with Turtle. There are also a lot of really useful things you can do with Turtle, but we're just getting into it now. And as we go through more of these videos, we'll play with the Turtle more, and we can get into some really fun stuff. So I hope you'll stick with me. Thanks.